We get two more first four games tonight in Dayton, Chelsea. So let's start with Mount St. Mary's and American. American is laying 2.5. They're minus 145. If you're interested in that bet on the money line, Mount St. Mary's is plus 118, and your total is 129.5. I don't know if this will be an official bet, but I think I'm going with the DC school. American, I'm not going to go with Mount St. Mary's.
All right. So I think I was looking at this one and trying to find an angle. I came at the same conclusion that you did, that I do like American here. It is a small spread, so it feels like hopefully the number doesn't matter either. But the one thing that I can find in the numbers that goes against Mount St. Mary's is the fact that they turn over the ball a ton.
Yep.
They're one of the worst teams in America at taking care of the basketball, ranking 359th. When you play at a neutral site, when you have the nerves of playing in a March Madness tournament, I feel like this is one of the biggest components, especially for these small schools. So American doesn't really pop on paper in most things, because obviously these are the teams that are fighting for that last spot in March Madness. Obviously, they're not going to be some of the best teams in the country on paper, but still, I think that's the only thing I can find for Mount St. Mary's. I think American overall is the much better team, at least on paper. So my guess would be American. That's the team that I would take here.
There we go. I mean, it's just down the street for me in Tinleytown. I was in Tinleytown a few weeks ago, celebrating a buddy of mine who is now the father of twin girls. So we were giving him a little send-off before his partner gave birth. But I'm with American as well. And you pointed out the very thing that I noticed yesterday, which is, man, Mount St. Mary's just turns the ball over again and again and again. American has won 4 straight. They've also won their last 4 games against St. Mary's. They've covered in 3 of those games. And also, in addition to the fact that Mount St. Mary's does not do a good job of protecting the basketball, American is one of the better teams in the nation when it comes to making free throws. And I know we harp on that on this show, but in a close game, wouldn't you trust the team that is going to make its free throws compared to the others? So the more I talk about this game, the more I like it. I think I'm just going to take American on the money line at minus 145. Let's do it.
I like it. But again, I feel like some of these games in the first 4 can be a little crazy, especially when it's the smaller schools. Like, look at last night, the way that one ended. And even though Alabama State won, they didn't cover. So we can hope for another good game. But if you're on American, maybe you're not hoping for a good game. Maybe you're hoping for a nice, easy win for American. But again, that's the conclusion I came to as well.
Okay, here's the big one tonight. Xavier taking on Texas. Xavier is laying 2.5. Xavier minus 160 on the money line. The Horns are plus 135. Your over-under at BetMGM is 149.5. I've seen some plays on Xavier. I've seen some plays on Texas. I've seen a play on the over. So, again, when you have a line this tight, you're going to see bets on both sides, and that's what we're seeing. Who are you making a case for? You going with the Musketeers, or are you backing my Horns?
I feel like everybody's on Xavier here, and it's an easy case to make. They're a really good 3-point shooting team. They make their free throws, and so if they're hitting the threes, maybe Texas can't hang. But I still feel like when you're getting points in this situation, and we see this profile all the time coming into March Madness, a team that musters up some momentum, that was kind of sandbagging throughout the entire year, but they have some talent, and then they put it all together just before March Madness. I think Texas kind of fits that profile. And in fact, I think you can even get 3.5 in some places. So, Jenks, if it's a close game, I think I'm going to take the points here. Like, does Texas have enough talent here? I think what I hate most about this game is that when you bank on a team that hits a lot of threes, there's some volatility involved. Like Xavier, like if they're hitting their threes, they're probably going to win. If they're not, they're not going to win the game. So I feel like Texas has a more repeatable style of basketball. They're surprisingly in the top 60 of offense and defense over at KenPom. And obviously they have played a gauntlet of a schedule. So I know you see a lot of red on there and say, hey, they've lost a lot of games, but they also played in arguably the toughest conference in all of college hoops. So I think I'm going to lean towards Texas here.
I think I am too. I'm looking around. I'm shopping as we speak, line shopping, trying to get Texas at 3.5 if I can find it. But I'm kind of like you. Oh, you can see it right there. Texas plus 3.5. I'll be on Texas. I will take that. So good call there. Xavier had a nice run to end the season where they had a 7-game winning streak. But ultimately, they play in a conference that is not nearly as strong. And not only that, They were 2-5 against opponents from the top 25, and their defense, as good as they are at shooting the three-point shot, and they are exceptional in that area, they are really bad on defense. Like, they rank well below the 150s in all of college basketball in stopping 2-point and 3-point shots. So they might hit a lot of threes, but they don't play a lot of defense in return. And I think Texas has enough offensive weapons to keep it close because of that lack of defense. So, yeah, I'm going to take Texas here.
Yeah, I think they fit that profile of the team, similar to what we saw from North Carolina last night, where North Carolina looked like the much better team. And obviously, it's very easy to have hindsight. It's 2020. But when you have a team that comes from a bigger conference, and it's an easier sell, obviously, when you have a team that has deep NIL pockets, and maybe it's a team that's just underachieved all season long, at some point they're going to put it together. So it just feels like that time is now. And we saw little glimpses of that in the SEC tournament.